Hey there! What kind of looks like a dustbin and talks like this? It's R2-D2, and R2-D2 is a pen now, alright? Now, I was talking to my mate Stephen, it's always fun, and he had this pen. He said, you want to borrow this for a review? And I said, boom shakalaka, let's do this. So here we have a Sheaffer Pop. These, it's a special version of the Pop. There's a bunch of these pens. I think there's a Kylo Ren, there's a Darth Vader, there's a BB-8, and there is R2-D2. So, it's a lot of fun. One thing, of course, you have to be careful about is it is a plastic pen, so be careful because he's no good to me dead. Or, if you're younger, he's no good to me dead. You know, these things happen. There is definitely a generational effect in these movies now, and if this makes absolutely no sense to you, don't worry, you're just not a Star Wars nerd, and that's okay. So, I'm going to cover the parts of this pen. I'll tell you what I like about it, what I don't like about it, but before I do that, I'll do a quick writing sample. Let's get started. Or rolling, I guess, in this case. Okay, a very well put together little droid. So let's first compare it to TWSBI 580 for size. The Pop is not a huge pen. It's a slightly smaller pen, but that makes it very suited for, say, a breast pocket in a shirt, etc. Parts of the pen. On top there it says Sheaffer. The clip with the little opening that Sheaffer often does. And of course the white dot, symbol of quality in Sheaffer's words, and they've been doing that for a long time, so it's a good way to recognize a Sheaffer. This top part, the cap, I think is supposed to be kind of R2-D2's head. We have that row of blue things that he has in that little dome. There's an eye. Here we have some other details. There's his little projector unit, I think, and then of course we have the symbol for the Rebel Alliance. Then we have, I'm going to hold it this way, no, do it this way. R2-D2, astromech droid. We have all kinds of details that are on his body. We have a leg there, so there's definitely a lot of eye for detail, which is kind of cute. And then on top there, sorry, at the bottom we have this end cap, and these pens do actually post, which is not bad given that they're not huge. That's a pretty nice size, and it's pretty robust. I mean, you can knock this off, but the cap just pop on there, so that's kind of nice. Section. Rubberized. This is a rubber coating. Tapers down, flares out a little bit, and then you have the steel Sheaffer medium nib they use on several of their pens. Barrel and screws. I'm not sure about the eyedropper capacity of this thing, if you can actually do... No, you can't. I can tell looking down the barrel there is small holes there, so forget about eyedroppering. This, I'm pretty sure, is a refilled cartridge, because I was told this is, I think, Diamine Oxford, refilled cartridge. Not a bad idea. These are large cartridges, hold quite a bit of ink, you don't have to use a converter. One thing I always found about these Pops is that this is a lot of threads. Done. Okay, so there's that. That's R2-D2. I think we need to see how it writes. I can just picture a little flap opening on his body and a fountain pen coming out. So, let me just put some stuff out of the way here. Sorry, I keep hitting it, it makes noise. What do we have? We have the Sheaffer Pop Star Wars R2-D2. The nib is a medium, and it's a the ink was, if I remember correctly, Diamine Oxford Blue, but I didn't put it in. Okay, so we'll have to be a little lenient. Nib, I find it feedbacky, but it has good flow. I've often found that with Sheaffer that these steel nibs are not the absolute pinnacle of smoothness. Not super wet either. Okay, line variation, as always, very careful. There isn't a whole lot, and also this being someone else's pen, I want to be extra careful. So you can squeeze out a little bit, but I really would be careful with this. These are pretty stiff nibs. Reverse writing, you see the pen runs dry, but you can take it from a medium to, I would say, an extra fine doing that. So a couple of words you'd probably get away with. And that's all there's to it. So let's see what I like about this pen and what I don't like about this pen.
And I am C-3PO, Human Cyborg Relations. Now, what do I like and not like about the R2-D2 pen? Guys, it's a simple pen, and that's the way it is. I mean, it's fun. If you are a Star Wars fan, or if you have a Star Wars fan in your life, you can give them this. It costs $22.99 US. So it's not a major purchase. It's a fountain pen. It writes. You can put in I think a converter should fit, but even if it doesn't, those cartridges hold a lot of ink. You can refill those. It's fun. It's the same reason I own this. Is this the greatest writer I have ever owned? Not really, but it's the fat, right? So if you love Star Wars, you kind of need a pen like that. It's kind of just the way it is. It's R2-D2. If you don't like R2-D2, there's others. There's BB-8, there's Darth Vader, there's a bunch you can pick from. There's even a Yoda version, I think. So, I mean, it's kind of fun. It's fun, and I kind of like it, and I think it's cute. So there is that. Fun gift. And it's R2-D2. If you like Star Wars, I mean, Stephen pulled this out, and I immediately knew R2-D2. I immediately recognized it. The blue, the white, it's iconic. You immediately recognize it. So, it's cool. Things I don't like about it so much, I found the nib a little feedbacky, but you also have to look at the pen. I mean, you have to look at what it is. A $25 pen maybe should not be held to the same standard as a $250 pen, right? It's a relatively affordable model when it comes to Sheaffers, so that's kind of what you have to work with and kind of what you have to expect. So there is that, and by all means, I mean, it does write. Right? It writes, I didn't have this run dry on me or anything, so I mean, that is very important. Final thing I will say, and I've said that before about the Sheaffer Pop model, it does feel a bit cheap to me. It's definitely a very plasticky pen. It feels a bit cheaper, and you definitely, yeah, you feel that. That's for sure. But again, it's less than 25 bucks. So you also have to take that into account. So I would say, bottom line for this pen is, if you love Star Wars, it's fun to have, even if it's just to play around or to, you know, simple pen, simple purpose. And that's all there's to it. So I hope this was useful. A kind thank you to Stephen for lending me the pen. I appreciate it. Guys, I'll gladly see you later. And may the Force be with you. Bye-bye.